Okay, we're good.
Hey,
Right.
Dave, it's cold.
It is, I know. Okay, so I was watching our last video and it said February 1st, it was 80 degrees, and today
Yes.
it was like 58 was the high today.
And
you know,
today is what, March 1st?
it's March 1st.
Oof.
So it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's sunny and it's partly cloudy, and they say
Yeah.
it might rain later though.
Yes.
But it's like 55 degrees. And it feels like 45 degrees.
Because of the wind chill.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, yeah. Skinny Tiff.
Ooh, skinny tip. So we're doing. It's not too long. It's not a full size tip.
No, these are what they call it, a petite lancero.
Yeah.
So,
Great format, right?
yeah, I like
Like-
this. I like a
Like a long
skinnier.
tail.
Yes. Actually, you know what? It is kind of like a Lonsdale because I think it's 6 and change by 38. So I think a Lonsdale is like, what, 40 or 42 by
Yeah.
6 and change?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit skinnier than a Lonsdale. But, I mean, as far as it goes for the slang, I mean, a lot of the slang, they kind of incorporate a lot of different sizes into that slang, at least in Cuba. And then the non-Cuban stuff is, oh, top.
Oh, I got it. I'm using your fancy.
It's a Prometheus.
Your fancy Prometheus because
Yeah.
I didn't bring anything today.
Well, I've got these really cool $4.
Well, it's really dull.
I've got
It
these.
got through it though.
You know what? I never use this thing, so
It's probably from just being outside.
we got to talk to Keith
A little
Park about that.
oxidization. Oh, yeah. You
I
can
mean,
do
you know
that.
what I mean? Like Keith, your cutter goes dull, like just sitting outside. 'Cause
by
I never
itself.
use it. I never use the damn thing.
Oh, so you got us a couple of cheap, like torches with giant reservoirs in them.
Yeah, you know what though? I like the single flame,
Yeah,
and
it's very precise.
I like the fact that it's got a big
Laser.
reservoir.
Hmm.
I mean, you're not going to be taking it with you walking around town, of course. But for $4, I
Unless
mean,
you want people to say, "Is that an eagle in your pocket?" or are you just happy to see me?
exactly.
Ooh, top heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyway,
Ooh, I always love the Tiff blend.
okay, all
It
right.
hasn't been out for a super long time because it's not one of the classic, old monsters that they brought in. They just came out with it. I don't even know what year it was when the Chuck and the Tiff came out, because it wasn't a regular monster release.
Well,
at
wasn't
any
it in
time.
the Cazador?
I think maybe it was in the 10 count Lancero.
that
Lancero
came out
box?
in 2008, I believe.
Okay,
Or
so
2009.
10 years ago maybe the blend came out for the Tiff and the Chuck.
Yeah. Yeah. But this is what, Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper with Nicaraguan binder and filler. Right?
Well, it is as I remember it. It's very tasty off the bat.
Yeah.
A little peppery in the nose.
Yeah. But I'm not a big fan of Connecticut anything.
Mm.
But I have smoked this cigar before,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually enjoyed it. And I'm not sure whether the fact it's just because it's got 4 years of age on it, or the blend is right, or whatever, or my palate is,
Oh, so
receiving-
these actual cigars are old too. Because I was noticing
Yeah.
there was an interesting aged mustiness on the wrapper when I was smelling them before we lit them.
Purchased these at the Cigar Warehouse,
Oh, you did?
just to let you know.
Like back in
Let
the
everybody
day.
know. No,
And-
I purchased them like 2 months ago.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, they had a bunch of them out.
Oh.
So
So they could have been maybe from. Did these come in the? Did they make these in the skinny,
the plastic,
square,
the whatever, yeah, they were in
Yeah.
that thing.
the square wooden boxes of
Yeah.
Skinny Monsters?
Or like a rectangular, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the whole top comes off. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
what this is from.
Gotcha.
So I'm pretty sure these are 4 years old,
And these are, of course, Tatuaje.
right?
Johnson.
Yep. It's funny because there's not a lot of good reviews about most of these skinny monster cigars.
People really like the full size monster format.
Yeah, which it just kind of, I don't know, it kind of drives me batty. People like figuring large, I don't know, whatever. I'm just thinking more filler, more binder. Well, more filler, basically, not more binder. And
Yeah.
so you got to have that thing burned. So you're going to have less of the stuff with the flavor and more of the stuff with the not flavor because it has to burn, the
Right.
velato. And anyway, yeah.
You can visibly see where, at least on mine, where it was cut, the darker leaf in the center of the cigar.
Well, your eyes are better than mine. I don't
Excuse me.
feel like putting my glasses on again. You're not making me put my glasses
Is it
on right
different from? Can you see it on mine?
now. It's
Little
kind of
bit?
blurry.
Oh, that's your eyes. The
You're always making
tobacco
me put
is
my glasses on.
nice
I
and
swear
sharp.
to God. I swear to God, man. I'm always like putting my glasses on and stuff. So it's kind of crazy.
Oh.
I feel like being a little vain today. So you got the new lights, though.
So we have a key light. You have a key light.
Yeah. And I know you were
Nice, I
talking
think it
about the
looks good.
background, and I cleaned up the fountain quite a bit, so it's looking rather bright and
Looks
white.
nice. You
So
gave
it's
us a nice PA wash down of the surroundings, so everything's glistening and
Yeah.
the light comes to glints off it, and it's
Yeah,
great.
exactly. It's already evaporating, though.
Where is the PA, by the way? Where is she?
I don't know.
Is she off on getting cigars for another video?
I don't think she smokes cigars, but she
Mm.
drinks a lot. So
Mm.
I think she's across the street at the bar.
Or sleeping one off?
Hmm.
Gotcha. Well, you know, it's hard to find good PAs these days.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's kind of like, did you ever watch, you probably didn't watch Murphy Brown.
I knew of it, but no, I didn't watch it.
So we binge watched all the Murphy Browns, like the original ones, not the remake of the Murphy Brown. So what happened with Murphy Brown is she had an assistant that would sit outside her office. And every episode there was a new assistant.
That's
Kind of like our
right.
PA.
Because, yeah, kind of like the PA. We go through a lot of PAs. I
Yep.
mean, we're very demanding. The closest to that I have ever come to watching a Murphy Brown episode was when on Seinfeld, when Kramer moves to Los Angeles for a brief period of time before he gets accused of being like the Hillside Strangler or something. He gets a guest spot as Murphy Brown's assistant.
Oh,
on one
gotcha.
episode.
Okay.
And they
Okay.
actually had, what is it, Candace Bergen?
Candace Bergen,
They
yeah.
actually had her on the Seinfeld episode. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It would
Candace
have meant
Bergen.
more to me if I was a Murphy Brown watcher, but at least I knew enough to get the reference.
Yeah, I watched all of those. Binge watched it. Yeah, it was good. I liked the Murphy Browns. They were good. Absolutely.
It feels like you're sitting a little back of me.
I am a little
like
back
I'm
of
really having to twist over to look at you. Oh, that's so much better. Are you still in? Is your lighting still good?
How's that?
We can get the gaffer to adjust your light if you need
Wow,
to.
you know all that screen technology names and gaffer,
Don't
PA.
we all wear big time video
I don't know
producers?
shit. I don't know nothing. I mean, I hear you saying these names. I'm like,
Mhm.
what is that?
Best boy.
I have no
I
idea
don't-
what that is.
I literally no one in
I know what a
in
fluffer
Hollywood
is,
knows what a best boy
but
is.
that-
I'm not surprised that that's the term you know.
I know that one, but that's a different type of. That's like the low end, the low budget video stuff.
You could. That's one word for it. Low budget. Yeah. hmm
Just saying. Yeah, this is a family show, I guess.
Don't look it up on Urban Dictionary if
Oh.
you don't know what it is.
A fluffer. But that's it. I just know that one. Director. I know director,
Uh huh.
producer.
Yeah. That's all you need to know.
Mm.
Producer, the job that you can get just by calling yourself one. Director, basically a manager of the set. We're the talent, though. That's the best job by far.
Yeah.
You get to sit around and smoke cigars.
Exactly.
I assume that's what all talent does.
Exactly.
Jennifer Aniston sitting on the set of Friends, just puffing away on a double Corona.
Well, J-Lo's a big cigar smoker.
Well, is she actually, or did she just do it for the picture?
Well, I don't know. Apparently, well, I know. Well, I hear that A-Rod is a big cigar smoker too.
I'm not surprised.
And so I believe, there's a lot of pictures of her smoking cigars.
Huh. No, maybe she caught on.
And
to
she's
it.
hanging out with A-Rod, so I would imagine.
Oh, you are a big NBA guy as well. Pretty big NBA guy.
I'm not a big NBA guy, no. I'm
You're-
an
you know-
MLB guy.
You know basketball enough. We've talked about it on many occasions, and you will know this name because you have, you're a seasoned individual. Alonzo Mourning.
Okay.
You remember him?
Yeah, he played for the Heat, I believe.
Played for the Heat. I think also he was maybe the first center for the Charlotte Hornets. He played for a couple of different teams, but it was like old school. This was like 90s, and he was one of the last of the real centers.
Yeah, like a
Before, especially-
post-up center kind of guy.
Exactly. Back to the basket. Before Shaquille O'Neal came in and kind of ruined centers for everybody because he was so phenomenal that like nobody else could do what he
So
was
big
doing.
and so fast.
Yeah. Alonzo Mourning was in the V-cut the other day.
Oh, he was?
Came in, looked amazing, blue suit, he's 7 feet tall, had to duck way down to get into the humidor, bought some cigars.
Really?
Didn't stick around, unfortunately, to smoke with us afterward, but yeah, that was pretty cool. They get, they do, because of their location in West Hollywood, right on Melrose, they get some celebrity clientele in there. They have a few who also smoke there, but like there's especially athletes that seem to find the place. Maybe there's some word of mouth and among their agents or something that tells them.
Or all the
tells them to go
comedians
there.
that are next door at the, what is
Tons
that?
of comedians, the Improv.
The Improv, yeah, the Improv's right there.
That's the second time you haven't been able to remember the name of
I
the
want to say
Improv.
Laugh
It's
Stop.
by far the most famous comedy.
I know, but I keep
venue.
wanting to say Laugh Stop, the Laugh Stop.
Laugh
Or
Stop.
Second City.
What is that, like Pasadena or something?
I have no idea. I don't hang out there.
There's
like
the
you do.
Comedy Store, there's the Improv, and there's the Laugh Factory. Those are the three big Hollywood ones, right? But anyone outside of like California or Southern California is going to know the Improv.
I know they will, but
Ugh.
I just have a hard time. You know how that sometimes there's like certain phrases or whatever you just have a hard time remembering for whatever reason. I mean, well,
But
maybe
not
not you
Fluffer.
because you're so perfect. I understand that. I
Fluffer
mean,
comes
like,
right to mind for you, though.
So yeah, I mean, I get it. But for me, I have problems, and I'm older than you anyway, so.
Did you ash?
I did ash it, yeah. I mean, I just kicked it off. But look at this here too. Look at the difference in the ash. You always pick the better cigar, always. According to what most people say is a white ash is better, but we talked about that in other videos where it's not necessarily the case where it's true where white ash is better.
Where we think it might be just more bullshit, cigar bullshit.
Yeah, there's a lot of cigar bullshit out
We
there.
should do a segment called Cigar Bullshit, and just like where we go over something like plume or something that people think is true, or like all your cigars need to be stored at 70%, humidity, and we just destroy the bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit. Did you see that movie, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, where they were playing bullshit?
Maybe I did. I don't remember. Was there a fluffer in it?
No. But Kate Hudson and Matthew McConaughey were in it,
Oh, I might have seen it because I probably watched all the Kate Hudson.
and there was
movies.
basketball in there,
Oh.
the Knicks.
Oh.
But anyway, they were playing bullshit. That would be great. Like, yeah, like, that would really be cool. Like a white ash, bullshit,
Mm.
and come up with some like.
Oh, we could list 10 of them off the top of our heads, for sure.
That'd be great.
And you could get a cool graphic that goes right across here like this. Cigar bullshit alert.
That'd be great. You know what? Let's work on that. You know what? Because we could do a bullshit video. I think that would be like really cool.
Sure. Do like 30 or 60-second quick hits. Good for social media. Good
Yeah.
for sharing.
Yeah. Like, yeah, a white ash is the better of the ashes. Bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's good. Yeah. Never buy a box of sealed cigars. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, it's got, as far as a Nicaraguan cigar goes, though, I mean, it doesn't have that spicy, like super, super spice. Like, I was able to retro this thing right out the gate, and like a lot of times with
It's a little spicy.
but I mean, it's not like, you're smoking an LFD where like right out the gate,
Not prohibitive, yeah.
right? But right now, it's like not, and it's smoking pretty fast considering,
Mm.
it is smoking a little fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good pack, but it's a narrow cigar. The burn is beautiful. Construction's great.
Yeah. It's got kind of like a little bit of like a haze sweetness in there, I think.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of that.
Yeah, it's. I'm really enjoying this. I remember always liking these before, and whether it is the age or whatever, it's got kind of a chewiness to the smoke and sweetness and a little baking spice, and the pepper isn't overpowering.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Much maligned. I
What?
think. I don't think a lot of people
tip?
really appreciate the skinny monsters that
Mm.
much. I really don't.
I've smoked a lot of the Drax and the Wolfman and things like that because some of the stuff that came out in the Skinnies and in the Lanceros were monsters that I've never gotten to smoke the original full size of. I've only gone back so far as the Mummy, which is not very far back. So I've never smoked a full size Face or Drac or Frank or Wolfman. Hyde, yeah, Jekyll and Hyde was only a couple of years ago.
Okay.
So then there was Mummy, Jason. What came after Jason? Was it the Kruger?
You got me.
And then there was the Jekyll and the Hyde. There was the Bride was the most recent one. And then there's another one in there that I'm missing.
Besides the Tiff?
Well, they didn't. I don't think they did a full size.
Oh, full size Tiff. Oh, I got you.
Tiff
Yeah,
and
because I
Shark.
know they're in that Cazadors or whatever it is with the Lanceros,
Mm-hmm.
and then they also came out in 2016 with the box of 25 of these.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think, in fact, as I recall, I remember reading something that said people were asking Pete to come out with a full size Chuck and Tiff because they like the blend so much.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
I mean that
We say wrong things on here. We
All
try
the
not
time.
to though, but we do.
Yeah. Well, like okay, so I'm going to do an addendum to the Amsterdam Holland smoking.
Oh yeah.
So we
I
both.
got a sorry not to interrupt you, but on that same topic, which you brought up in one of our previous videos, I got an IM from somebody who works at a lounge in Amsterdam. So tell your follow up. So the story was essentially Amsterdam has outlawed smoking. more or
Well,
less.
Holland in general outlawed.
Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they outlawed smoking, but what happened is you cannot drink and smoke in the same area. You can smoke in a lounge, that's fine, but you can't have like that one that you said had the glass with the bar. I think that they're done.
Hotel de Europe.
Yeah, I think they're done with that. But
Yeah.
like I actually
I
sent
believe you're right.
an IM or something actually to Cigar and one other lounge in Holland, in Amsterdam, and to asking them like, hey, what's the story, Morning Glory? And they told me that yes, you're allowed to smoke in there, but you can't drink or eat and smoke in the same area.
Yeah, I mean, that was essentially, as I recall, that was essentially true at Cigar and at PJC Hajenius, the ancient venerated lounge there, which is basically across the river from the Hotel de Europe. It's very close. You could have at least very easily done like a walking cigar smoking tour of Amsterdam, which would have been very, very nice. But the IM that I got back from Iris, who works at PJC Hajenius, told me that they're okay right now because they just do tobacco, and you can go in, if you go in the back lounge, you can get a really nice coffee from them as well with your cigar. I have a sense that like a lot of private lounges, if you brought in a bottle or if you're a member or if you have a locker or whatever, but they won't serve you alcohol, you could maybe drink it yourself. But she said even in 2 years, they might not be able to have smoking at all. Just sales. And
Okay.
who knows what that's going to do to the place. Like Cigar, the entire bottom floor is a lounge, and the entire upper floor is the store.
So, does that exclude weed though? And hash?
Well, weed and hash are not legal though in Amsterdam. They're just
Tolerated or whatever it
they're
is.
tolerated. They look the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe people will tolerate cigar smoking.
Well,
I
here's
don't know.
the thing here in LA though. You know what the hell they're doing in LA?
What?
There is a dining establishment in LA where you serve food and drink, and you can smoke weed in the restaurant.
Is it like Doritos and
No, it's like really good
Coca-Cola
food. Like
type?
it's like a
Because that's what it should be. It should be like.
no. It's
shit.
like, but my point is how come you can't?
I don't know
smoke?
what people eat when they smoke weed. KFC, pizza, probably, right? Domino's
I have
pizza.
no idea. But my point is that secondhand smoke is secondhand smoke. If you're going to treat secondhand smoke as secondhand smoke, then you should outlaw all that stuff. Those people should not be able to get away with that.
Well, I would go the other way. I would say let them push the envelope and let us take advantage of it, of the work that they do. If they can get a permit to have weed smoking and food and drink in a location, then we just use that as our opening to get a few locations where you can smoke cigars and do the same thing.
They already did it.
And just point our fingers and say, hey, they can do it. So it's secondhand smoke, it's secondhand smoke. As you say, we should be able to do it too. We're all consenting adults.
Yeah.
Nobody's either, eating here or smoking here or working here against their will. Let us have this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like crazy. Like they've totally vilified everything. But of course, if you're doing weed, it's okay. Which that totally chaps my ass. I mean, I have nothing against people smoking weed. I really don't. What I have against it is the fact that they can smoke and have all the secondhand smoke in the restaurant where everybody's eating and drinking, and possibly getting a contact high as well. But you can't smoke a cigar after a meal, whatever. You know what I mean? I was kind of pissed off about that.
Yeah, I wouldn't get pissed off about it. I would be like, well, maybe we can ride their coattails. That would be nice.
Well, turning lemons into lemonade, I get it, but
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, we'll see.
Because with, all the legislation and everything like that people are putting up against cigars, I just read something else where they're doing more to prohibit, like I guess the online sales of cigars too.
The bill that came out, I want to say it was on Friday, maybe even Friday afternoon, and it went through Congress. Did it go through Congress or go through? No, I think it went through the Senate. But it still has to be, passed by both houses and signed into law by the current occupant in the White House, and that seems unlikely because the bill, it does, for the first time, I think, have an exemption for premium hand-rolled cigars over $12 or $12 and over, which is great, except that, does that mean, your least expensive premium hand-rolled cigar now is going to be $12 because that's pretty high.
Yeah.
As a floor price, but it's also, at least for the cigar manufacturers, theoretically it's a lot better for them because if they're exempt from all this anti-vaping legislation that kind of threw all tobacco in together, then that could work out really well. But again, there's a lot of people out there who can't smoke a daily cigar at a $12 price point, and I totally get that.
Yeah.
It'd be a major, does that mean you couldn't go on CI or something like that and buy your bundle of 40 cigars for $40 anymore?
I think so. That's what they want to exempt, right? They want to not exempt, but get rid of online sales.
Yeah.
Which would be good for brick and mortar. You know what? It might
aspect.
actually create a resurgence of brick and mortar cigar shops, in the sense of if you can't go online and buy your cigars, then the only way you can get your cigars is where you live or around where you live.
But man, the online cigar industry, number one, there's a lot of people who don't live near a brick and mortar, so maybe those people could get together and open a brick and mortar because it should be relatively inexpensive if you live in a small place kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It's cheaper to start a business. But there's a lot of people who just won't be able to get cigars. Also, the industry itself, the online cigar industry, is so huge. There's 4 or 5 really big online retailers, and then there's a whole bunch of little ones, and there's a lot of online shops or a lot of brick and mortar shops that have some kind of an online presence as well.
Yeah.
So
that
that's
would
a
be
lot.
pretty devastating if they, because I think of right off the bat what you got. JR Cigar, Famous Smoke, and Serious Cigars are 3 that I know of off the top of my head. Cigars International too, I guess, and Thompson Cigars.
Yeah, I mean, and those are mostly just the catalog, the big players, right?
Yeah.
But there's a whole bunch of others that we know of, even something like Small Batch.
Oh God, that would
in
kill 'em.
Orange County, yeah. I mean, they'd be gone.
Yeah.
I mean, the California tax increase probably hurt them really bad a couple of years back when the taxes went from 35 to 69 or whatever it was, and they basically lost all their California customers.
Yes. Yeah. But I mean, they're nationwide, so It probably didn't hurt them too bad. I mean, it definitely hurt their bottom line.
Well,
for
it
sure.
hurt me because I really liked buying from them, and with the tax increase, it just didn't make sense anymore.
Yeah, yeah,
I love Andrew, and I love that shop and the work that they put in, especially Andrew himself, to making that small batch what it was, and it has such a great reputation within the industry.
yeah.
Really
Yeah.
curating those boutique manufacturers and special sticks, and making sure the availability was there and the prices were good, and shipping was phenomenal because they have a post office right next door. They just walk them over and
Oh yeah.
get them right out to you.
Yep, pretty much.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Still got that sweetness in there. Really, it's it's still definitely a sweet cigar.
It's really good. I love this. I mean, not to tip my hand, but it's going to be a thumb way up from me.
Yeah, me too. I mean, like I've smoked a few of these already. I'm actually like, I'm getting a little bit of coffee in there.
I'm getting a little coffee too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting a little bit of a coffee note.
It
in
is
there.
it is a great accompaniment with coffee. You're drinking a Coke over there? A little
Yeah.
tiny Coke?
Little teeny Coke.
I
Yep.
love those little cans.
Mhm.
More than enough soda for one sitting.
It is, unless you're doing like a diadema or something like that.
I never drink a whole can of Coke. You never, it's too much. Also, it's what, like 350 calories or something?
No, like a whole can of Coke, like a
280?
12-ounce can. No, it's about 180 calories.
No. How many
Yes.
calories is that?
90.
And how many ounces is it?
Like 8. I think it's 8. Can you make me put my glasses on again? 7.5 ounces.
How many ounces are in a can?
12.
Oh. Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I thought it was more.
Mm.
Well, now I'm going to be drinking them like
Well,
swill.
don't be doing that. But yeah, you're right. I mean, like a little mini can of Coke, usually with a cigars, it's perfect.
Did you get a taste for those because of the flight attendant thing? And they have
Oh, we do
those
regular size cans, 12-ounce cans.
regular size cans. Do they always get the can if they want it?
Absolutely,
you
I
just
can.
like pour?
Everybody.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Mm. I'm a nice flight attendant. The problem with being a flight attendant is that what people don't understand about it is the fact that you have a set of rules that you have to go by. I mean, that's just a fact of life.
Right.
Where, we have to tell people things all the time, and it's not because I'm an asshole. It's because the FAA mandates and deems that, yes, you need to sit in your seat when we're taxi, takeoff, and landing
Yeah.
with your seatbelt fastened, with the tray table up, with your seat back up. Okay? Now, why is that? Why should I have to put my tray table up, my seat back up? Well, if we have to evacuate the airplane, if you have your tray table down, someone's got to be here. Say you're right there on the on the row. Someone has to go through there to get to the window or a door.
Yeah.
And so they're not going to be able to get by. And if it's a violent thing, usually it's a violent action of stuff.
Yeah.
So not only that, you could get pushed into that tray table and it could do something in your chest.
Sure.
Same thing with the seat back. I mean,
Right.
granted, they don't go back as far as they used to,
Yeah, they only go back like 3-4 inches, right?
but the point is that you want to give everybody as much egress as possible,
Mhm.
right? So you want that thing flush with all the other seat backs. So it's just, and you want your seatbelt fastened, because if there is some kind of a violent,
Yeah, you could fly up to the ceiling, even in bad turbulence.
yeah. I mean, flight attendants get hurt all the time.
I've seen those videos where the flight attendant's coming down the aisle and you hit a bump of air and they could just go smash into the ceiling.
Yeah. So,
That's got to be scary.
and then with, what happened, 19 years ago, we have had to have more stringent procedures of people gathering around areas such as galleys or by the flight deck door.
Right.
So we have to do that. And another thing too is that we have also made it to where so people can't congregate up in the front so much, is that we cordon off. If someone's in first class, they use the first class lab. If someone's in coach, they use the coach lavatory, and it's just that's the way that it is.
Yeah, because you can't have the plebs mixing in with the hoi polloi.
Well,
the burn's been great on these. Are you keeping them in your Winador?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the new air or the other one?
New air. Okay, so yeah, Bob Saget was on the flight.
Ah, Bob Saget. He's a cigar smoker.
I didn't know that. If I would have known that, I would have said something to him.
You should have. I think he smoked cigars on his. He was on a couple episodes of Entourage a few years ago.
Okay.
And I think he was a cigar smoker.
You know, and I watched all the Entourages, and thinking back, it's like, yeah, he was on Entourage. I just didn't. Yeah, and he was he was sitting in the back row, first class. Very affable, very nice. Like really, really nice.
I think a little bit of a noted dirty joke teller as well.
Well, I wanted to talk to him about the Aristocrats.
Right.
But did get a chance to do that. So, and I'm not one of these people, like, it was funny because I was the galley flight attendant first class coming back from Vegas, and so I sit 1L inboard, which means I can look down the aisle, and there was a lady sitting across from him, and like, oh hey Bob, like, can you do that and take a selfie? And then like he, took a selfie.
Oh, well, that's nice. Nice
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
Was she 25-year-old model?
No. No. But anyway, so yeah, he was on the flight yesterday. But anyway, so we have rules, and sometimes the flight attendants are extremely bookish about rules. Some people are like, just, hey, I'm not a cop. I hate being a cop, but I gotta do the cop kind of stuff.
So I know, because I do a little work in the travel industry myself, the big topic that always gets people screaming is reclining your seat. Should you recline your seat or should you not recline your seat? And there was the knee defender thing that people can jam in to prevent the person in front of them from reclining their seat, and that was a huge controversy. I don't think they're even allowed to make them anymore. Where do you stand if you have somebody who's reclining their seat and somebody behind them who doesn't want them to recline their seat, and how do you resolve that?
They're paying so they can recline that seat.
I agree.
I
am a recliner. I wait until after takeoff, and I slowly will recline it, but it's so much more comfortable. I have back issues, and I'm gonna recline my seat. I want to sleep on a longer flight or be comfortable on a shorter flight and not be all cricked up by the time I, get there. And
yeah, just the same thing with the overhead compartments. Everybody thinks the overhead compartment above their seat is theirs. It's not. It's a shared thing.
Yeah.
We're on a vessel.
I guess the only thing is with the overheads, you don't want to drop your bag way up front, because then the people up there, if that gets filled, they have to go further back, which means they either have to wait for everybody to leave the plane when you land, or they have to try to make their way back real fast, which probably really sucks for a flight attendant when people are they get up and they try to rush to get their bag and get off the plane when everybody's just basically supposed to stand up, get their bag, be orderly, and because that's what will cause the deplaning to happen as fast as possible.
Well, the best thing to do, to be quite honest, when you're getting on a plane is if you're sitting in the back of the plane. Okay, now what the flight attendants usually do, I can't say they always do, is when the overhead compartment is full, they close the door.
Right.
So if you're going back to the back of the plane and there's say 10 people in front of you, and you're halfway there, and you see all of the overhead compartments in the back are closed,
because you were late to the airport and you're the last one on the plane,
or whatever, then there's a good possibility that you should dump your bag
right
in front of yourself.
Now, I did that once on one flight, and I've flown a lot, and try to be respectful and follow orders of the flight attendants, but I put my bag in because I saw that. I was like, whoa, it doesn't look like there's a lot of space back there, and I'm in 27 or whatever, and so I put my bag in and I started walking to my seat, and the flight attendant told me to take it out and take it with me and put it back further in the plane. And I eventually did, but I was I had that same reaction. I was like, okay, I'm not I don't think I'm doing anything wrong here.
You're
but
not.
She was very insistent.
What airline were you on?
I don't remember.
I bet it was what? It wasn't our airline.
It was
Well,
probably not United.
we're actually Continental.
Yeah, but you're United now.
But I was Continental.
I
It
know.
sounds
but
like it happened quite a
Continental
few years
doesn't
ago.
exist. No, wasn't that
Okay,
many years ago? It was
so
maybe
United-
2 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, whatever. I mean, that's.
It was probably American.
It's
actually.
a shared space that everybody uses, and like I said, some flight attendants. The bottom line is like if you're a flight attendant and you're watching this, in 100 years or 100 minutes, is it really going to matter? Really, to be quite honest, for something like that, he's going to drop his bag off, and you know what? Someone going in the back is going to have a spot or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
she had some reason why she thought it was very important
Yeah.
that I take my bag with me down the aisle.
And I used to commute back to Newark, and like when we first merged with United, the gate agents, like a lot of, I'm like, it's like I'm a flight attendant. I'm the last to get on the plane, but I'm a flight attendant, right? And so they would check my bag all the time. Like, you got to check your bag no matter what. And
Like to get it out of bag claim afterward?
yeah,
Whoa. You mean in the jetway or at the gate?
in the jetway. Well, yeah, at the gate, at the right next to the planes, they would
Mhm.
make me check my bag. And it's like, I think I could probably find a spot somewhere, being a
Mhm.
flight attendant, showing my badge or whatever, that they wouldn't let me do it.
Huh.
So, I mean, and the thing about it is if that's the way they want to do it,
Right. What are you gonna
it
do?
doesn't really matter.
Do you ever find yourself flying other airlines? Having to, or maybe co-chair partners or something like that?
Back in the day, did a few, but most of the time, anytime I travel now, I just fly on United.
I was just wondering if you'd ever had occasion to be like, hey, I'm actually an FA on United, and like have to negotiate with
you
a
know
flight
what?
attendant.
Well, like I've actually, because my girlfriend and I go to Boise on
and
vacation.
you can't get there on United.
We can, but we get like the UA flight gets there into Boise like late, and we don't want to put our friends out. Like it
Uh-huh.
gets in at like at 9 o'clock at night, and so usually we'll take Southwest up to there, which just chaps my ass because we got to stop in like San Jose or Sacramento or Phoenix or some crap
Mhm.
like that just to get to Boise, which just
Right.
bugs me. But I'll talk to the flight attendants there, and I'll say, "Hey, how you doing? I'm a flight attendant with United," and it's sometimes they're like cool about it, and sometimes they're just total dicks.
They just don't care.
Yeah, they're just like dicks.
Yeah.
Like I was coming. No, we were going to Boise. Gal must have been having a bad day. I think we were flying out of San Jose. Get on the flight in San Jose, and we were sitting up in the front, and she just did not want to be friendly. She didn't want to say hi. She didn't want to do anything. And it's like, okay, that's the way you want to be. It's fine with me. I don't care. And I try and take care of people from other airlines if they're non-revving on us or
Right.
doing something like that. So, yeah, it's very crazy.
The brotherhood of the skies.
We're all in this together. I
Yeah.
mean, it's we're definitely in this together. So, whatever.
You're a little behind where I am because you had to fix some
Yeah,
technical things.
technical camera things.
You had to work with the PA crew and get things
Yeah.
back where we like them.
Yeah.
So this to me is a 90-point cigar. I'm just loving this thing.
Yeah, it's a good cigar.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether I think it's kind of a combination of the blend and the age on the cigar.
Yeah.
And I think that it's right in that wheelhouse where it's a really enjoyable cigar.
God,
And that's why I've
good.
had these for a while. I bought them at Cigar Warehouse probably about a month ago. I've had them that long.
Mhm.
And I've been wanting to smoke the cigar with you because I was like, when I smoked it, I'm like, hey, this is pretty good. I want to get another opinion on it. And you've
Right.
kind of verified
Mhm.
that with me. That
Yep.
It's a good cigar.
Terrific. I would smoke if I saw these in a bargain bin, or even not in the bargain bin. Pay the full, what is it, $12, $14, something like that.
I think they were $10
$10.
at
Great.
Cigar Warehouse.
$10.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think they were $10. I mean, Cigar Warehouse. I mean, like I said, I say this over and over again about them, but I mean, I don't know why more tobacco shops don't have a bargain bin. Why they don't just blow stuff out. but
Yeah.
he does. Saeed just like, you know, if it's not selling, let's get it out of here. Get something in that will.
Yep. I was in there a couple weeks ago, actually last week. Can't remember what I smoked, but you know they have such a good selection. I usually can find something in the center island. That's where they put the kind of
The
the
high-end
new stuff
stuff
and the
that-
high-end stuff.
Yeah.
I think I might have picked something out from around the perimeter though, because there was a lot.
So in the
of stuff
front,
in
they
there.
usually have like the really expensive stuff, and then behind it and on the sides is the stuff that's new,
Yep.
newer. You know.
I also noticed, not a knock against Cigar Warehouse, but like their prices on high-end Fuente stuff used to be really, really good, like just the best in town. Now they're kind of back up where everybody else is, but they also have stuff that nobody else has. They had the Purple Rain in there. I think they wanted 100 a stick for those. They had I think purple ribboned BBMFs in there that were like 150 a stick. I mean, they have, if you really want stuff, I would imagine they probably have Opus 20ths in there, which are also hard to find. So the availability, and obviously, by the way, did you know they have new signs?
Hmm.
They have a new Cigar Warehouse sign outside instead of that, you know, painted one that was
faded
there
one, yeah,
30
okay.
years ago, and a Davidoff sign because they're a Davidoff white label, and so it kind of looks like a Davidoff lounge now from the outside.
That's nice. Yeah, I mean, I just really like that lounge, and it's just nice to be able to just sit in there and smoke, and I don't know, I like it. You know,
Good.
I really do. You know, another thing they had there too, the Tatuaje Petite Reserve.
Oh man, yeah, I think you posted one of those when you were smoking it the other day.
$4 a stick.
Especially since we're smoking Tatuajes right now. I mean, $4 is a great price for a lounge as well on those, but they are just such a good smoke cigar.
They are. I mean, that
Crazy.
was probably next to this one, probably one of the best Tatuaje. You know me, and I'm not a big fan of Tatuaje either. I don't really like a lot of the Tatuaje cigars, but that one there was a great cigar.
Now the Petit Tatuaje has no band on it, right?
Right.
The other one is the Reserva, Petit Tatuaje Reserva.
That's the one I was smoking.
Well, the Reserva has a band though.
Mm.
There's a Petit Tatuaje, and then the I think these are the right names. Petit Tatuaje Reserva, which has a regular brown label Miami band on it.
I believe this one is the Petit Tatuaje Reserva, but it had no band.
Hmm.
But there's two of them that they have as well. They have a like a natural or Habano, and then they have Maduro.
Okay.
They have two different ones, and I think the Maduro has like a black label on it, and then the other one, they had both of them in there, I believe. Like Saeed was like in there with me. He's like,
Oh, you know what it is? It's the Petit Tatuaje is the one with no band, and the Petit Cazadores Reserva.
there we
is
go.
The one with
That's
the
the
band.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I was looking it up. I'm like going, damn, these are like, you know.
Yeah, and it's a little bigger.
Yeah,
but
and that's got a band on
they're
it.
both really good. The Petit Cazadores Reserva is maybe my favorite, when I can find them, maybe my favorite regular production Tatuaje cigar.
Okay.
I can't get enough. I smoked one at King Cigar Lounge downtown
Mm.
a few months ago, and I don't know whether the box was old or what was going on, but it was like the third cigar I smoked that night down there because I just wanted something for the last, 40 minutes. And it was just so good. I couldn't get over it. Yeah. So Pete Johnson, still doing it.
Yeah, for certain stuff. I mean, like.
Oh, listen to you. Splitting hairs. What are you gonna? What are
Well,
you
I
gonna
mean,
say?
this is good. I've smoked some of those other
The Black
monsters.
Label stuff is great.
I just like this. I like the Reserva.
The Petit Robusto. Smoke the Petit Robusto Black Label. If you get a chance.
Those are more expensive, though, right?
A little. I mean, they're gonna
Those
be
are about
at,
14, 15 a stick.
I don't think it'll be 15. I think I would say you might be able to get them for like 12 at the warehouse.
Okay.
A little bit more at V-Cut, but they have them at the V-Cut as well.
Yeah.
Speaking
okay.
of V-Cut, I was going to ask you this. Obviously, you spend some time in lounges. You don't smoke a lot in lounges. I smoke in lounges probably more than you do.
Mhm.
But you also are well known in the cigar community because of your vintage Cuban cigar videos.
I don't know about that.
I think you are. But you're also very humble, which we also love about you. Do you get recognized? People see you and recognize you from your videos and come up to you and be like, hey, are you the vintage cigar smoker dude?
I mean, I had a guy at Cigar Warehouse that did that. And not usually, like a couple people here and there might say something, but the guy at Cigar Warehouse, his name is Sam the Contractor. And
Sam the Contractor.
yeah, and so I was going, because like I like to go into Cigar Warehouse.
Shout out to Sam the Contractor.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I like to go into Cigar Warehouse on Monday because Saeed gets in there like at 10 o'clock in the morning.
You go in the morning?
So I can get there like at 10:30, between 10:30 and 11. I can park right in the back, and like I go in there, and grab my cigar, and I can sit down and smoke a cigar, and there's nobody in there.
That's nice. I'm so jealous of the people who could smoke during the day, you know, during the week, because I'm chained to my desk by that point.
Yeah.
For the next 8 hours.
So I got in there a little bit late on a Monday. I got there like around 11:30, and a guy, I walked in and I'm sitting down to smoke a cigar, and he's like, you know, we're sitting across from each other. I'm like, hey. And he's like, hey, I know you. I just saw your video. And so anyway, we started talking and stuff like that, and
He's a Cuban cigar smoker?
Yeah, he's a Cuban cigar smoker guy. And so he brought out a Partagas, was it Grand Reserva Cosecha from 2000.
Out of his, like, he has a locker there or something?
So I took a video of the box and everything like that, and then I actually smoked it and did a review on it.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Thanks for sharing that one.
Well, you know what though? So what I do have, and I've been wanting to do this with you for a long time. So I know, because I said that with you, but
So Sam the Contractor, not only is he's a little bit of a baller, because that's a baller.
Well, yeah, okay, so when I first saw him,
yeah,
he was smoking a Talisman.
Oh.
He was smoking a Talisman in there.
So he's just like
he's a baller, yeah.
Cut above, okay.
Yeah. So so anyway, so every now and then someone will, like, you know, say, hey, how you doing and stuff like that, but you know, for the most part, no. I mean, like,
I got recognized from Instagram yesterday.
Where?
At the V-Cut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you do post your face on there a bit too, like.
I do. I like to fool around with that a little bit. But your videos, your whole, like, it's just like this. People can see you.
Yeah.
But yeah, she and her husband were in buying some cigars, and she came over and said, "Are you a cigar guy?" I was like, "Yes, thank you for watching."
It's nice when people like recognize you and stuff like that. So.
Thanks. But that never happens to me. I figured it would happen to you more often because of your huge video following.
Well, like I have had people when I was at Larry's house in Redondo Beach. I had a guy named Deem who came up to me and talked to me, and I've been down to his house and smoked down there and stuff. But for the most part, I mean, because people with that, I mean, it's a small community, especially with vintage stuff.
Especially with vintage stuff.
So I mean, they're like, they're not so much, but
most of those guys, they're not necessarily out smoking in lounges because they have money to buy those cigars, and that means they have a house and a man cave or backyard or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not like us.
Well, I mean, I got to get out to Florida and go to Emil's house. I mean, I got to do it.
Where is it in Florida?
He's out by, he's in Punta Gorda, which is by Fort Myers.
Okay.
Which right now would be an excellent time to
Sure,
go.
spring training, baby.
Yeah. It would be an excellent time. But I'm low on cash right now. I just can't do anything right now. I got, this past month, my roommate in Orange County had a bunch of health issues, and I had to, like, basically take time off from work to watch the dogs. He's got 3 dogs, and he couldn't do it. He was in the hospital.
Right.
So I had to go down there for quite a couple weeks, off and on, to take care of the dogs. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah. This cigar's great, though, man. So getting back to it. Anyway, so what I am going to do with you, though, we got to do this, is 1992 versus 1997 Romeo and Juliet at Churchill's.
Ooh. That sounds great.
And that is going to happen
Both
So
90s, both pre-bad period.
and also, okay, so I've been here. You know, there's people that I talk to that talk to me, and they say, and I believe they changed the tobacco around 1994. Is because what Habanos SA became the distributor of, and Cuba Tobacco stopped doing that, except I guess in France. Cuba Tobacco was still sold the cigars to France, but everywhere else was Habanos SA. But in 1994, they changed the tobacco at that time too, I believe as well. And so people have noticed a difference between cigars post 94 and
Oh.
pre 94. So it'll be good. Well, I got, you know,
Yeah.
one from 92, one from 97.
And it's only a 5-year difference, so I mean, at that age, there shouldn't be that much of a difference in terms of age, right?
Yes.
5 years.
Right? So you're looking now like one's 28 years old and one's 23 years old. So I have that.
That sounds great.
Yeah, that's
We
gonna
should
happen.
be smoking those right now. Nothing against the Tiff, but
Yeah,
it's not a 28-year-old Cuban.
yeah, it's not. So, but that's definitely gonna happen.
This hasn't harshed out. I'm down to about 1.5 inches here, and puffing on it pretty good. And it's not too hot. It's not too mushy. It's still burning great. Still tasty. Just a great little cigar.
And the spice, you know what though, like on the back end here, that spice factor is actually coming up a little bit more. The finish is getting a little bit longer, a little more chewy for me.
Been chewy most of the way.
Yeah, but it's not, like you said, it's not harsh. It's not anything where, you know, definitely thumbs up, way up on this thing, definitely,
Yep.
especially for a non-Cuban.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, so, anywho, I think that's about it.
Okay.
Don't you think?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. I'm getting cold.
Getting cold?
Yeah.
Are you?
Well, I'm not wearing shorts like you, but yeah.
All right, let's do it. So anyway, till next time, see you later.